Oh, hello and welcome to Collab365 MicroJobs Athletics. Okay, I figured there's not much sport on the TV right now. There's no F1, there's no football, there's no soccer, you name it, there isn't any of it. Why don't I bring you some sport? And here we are, MicroJobs Athletics. Okay, that's about as sporty as it's going to get. What I actually want to do is, with this diagram, is help explain what you can use Collab365 MicroJobs for. Okay, so a little bit about the diagram. So, in all our day-to-day lives, we're all working towards a goal. Okay, and that might be a daily goal, a weekly goal, team goal, project goal, monthly goal, whatever it is, we're moving from the state we're currently in to where we want to go. Now, I've got 3 examples here, but the examples are endless, okay? So you might be working from where you are now to your project being delivered. You could be working from where you are now to your product being developed. Or you might be working to maintain your service, etc., etc., etc. There could be 100 reasons why, goals that you're aiming for. You might be delivering a product, you might be providing a service, you might be developing software for somebody's other project, etc., etc. So I'm going to show you how, if you work in the Microsoft space, and by that I mean if you use a Microsoft tool, if you develop in a Microsoft tool, if your product is in Microsoft tools, or if you're just dependent on Microsoft technologies for any part of your day-to-day work as a technical person or a non-technical person, then you can benefit from MicroJobs in trying to deliver your day-to-day projects and get to your goal. Okay, so let's explain it. What we've got here is each person trying to get to their goal, getting through some hurdles. Okay, and I'm going to take you through these hurdles, and again, these are just examples. There's hundreds of different hurdles we all hit every day. I'm going to take you through these hurdles and explain how MicroJobs is going to be there to help you. Okay, so this person's hitting a skills gap in their project. Now, that might be an individual, a person's skill gap, it might be the whole team's skill gap, or it might be a small section of the team's skill gap. You can go onto MicroJobs, and there's hundreds of freelancers there, many of which are happy to provide bespoke, specific training to your need, which is much better than sending your team on a whole week's course when they only need to know that one little thing. Okay, so get some bespoke training, get your team working how you want them to work, get over that hurdle and start moving towards your project being delivered. However, the same person has now hit the resource hurdle. Okay, so the resource hurdle in this instance might be that you've just not got enough people to deliver the project. You've got the skills, you've now got some training, so you've got the skills, but you've just not got enough people to deliver the project. Now, MicroJobs can't provide you with an FTE, it's not a recruitment site, but what it can do is allow you to break down your work packages in whatever work you're doing and go out to MicroJobs Freelancers and get them, post a project request and get them to deliver the independent, individual work packages that you need doing for your project. Similarly, in Collab365 recently, we found it difficult. A process that we had was our speaker onboarding for our virtual conferences. So we spoke to one of our freelancers on MicroJobs, had a session chatting to them to spec out exactly what we needed and what the process was. The freelancer then defined a solution and went away and built as a solution. Now, the solution was to automate much of the speaker onboarding process for our online conferences. The freelancer did this using Power Apps, Flow or Power Automate, and it's now, the tool is now within our Teams channel, and we use it daily or weekly to manage the process of onboarding our speakers. In doing that, we saved around, depending on the size of the summit, we'd saved around 3 to 5 days of effort at every conference. We made it much clearer, we made it much more understandable, and we ended up with a process being automated which wasn't directly giving us resource, but it freed up our resource to be able to do other things. So automate is a great way to free up some resource, work packages another great way, and on you go to deliver the project. Great. Let's go down to this lady here and the knowledge hurdle. Now, knowledge, skills, very close related. I've picked out this one particularly because when you're going, in this case, to develop a product, but when you're trying to get to your goal in every day, you always hit them little problems where you just need a little bit of knowledge. Your team are fully skilled, you've got a good team, you can get through, but you've maybe got a bit of your design that needs validating, or maybe you've just need that little bit more information to take you from where you are today to delivering tomorrow. And quite often that can be just a 30-minute expert call. We've got quite a lot of them on MicroJobs at the moment. 30-minute expert calls are becoming more popular in MicroJobs, because actually quite often that's all you need. You need a chat with the right expert with the right skills that's going to get you past your problem today onto your solution tomorrow. So, great one. Go and get an expert call. Go and ask the question. Save you hours on Google searching. Can just be a couple of minutes, set up a call. You could have been on the phone by this afternoon solving the problem. Fantastic. Okay, down here, down to the last two. This one says environment, excuse my bad writing, or environmental. So right now we're all going through a massive environmental change. Almost without exception across the world, we're all having to change the way we work, or work from a different location at least. We're all, the biggest example of that with the coronavirus is quite a lot of us are now having to work remotely when we weren't used to doing it. Quite a lot of us are doing that using Microsoft products, Office 365 and Teams. Quite a lot of us have never had to use those products for what they're intended for the working remotely and working in the cloud and collaborating remotely. Okay, so there'll be a lot of people out there right now who are slightly anxious, slightly underskilled, worried they're going to lose some work, worried they're going to do the wrong thing, and probably need some guidance, some training and some help. MicroJobs would be absolutely perfect for that. There's lots of freelancers who have got skills in Teams, lots of freelancers that can take you or your team from barely knowing anything in Teams to be able to collaborate fantastically. Similarly, there's lots of freelancers that can give you, the IT department, guidance on how best to configure Office 365, how best to configure Microsoft Teams, so that maybe even govern Microsoft Teams and put the governance in place, so that you and your teams can continue to work effectively and efficiently in a remote manner, and hopefully keeping your company going in the right direction. So absolutely perfect now is to get yourself some Teams or similar training through MicroJobs, and you get over the environmental issue. Okay, issue, very broad. These all kind of cover and end up, could be described as an issue in your project or your work, but I've pulled it out as an individual one because in a similar way that the 30-minute call is a great way to get past a little knowledge gap, an issue, MicroJobs is fantastic at helping people with showstoppers, bugs in a project that they just can't fix, solving design issues or flaws, or not quite sure where to take a design, solving small chunks of functions and codes that you just can't get working, or a power app that you just can't get past why it does not doing something for you that you would expect it to do. You can reel them off endlessly, all the different little issues that you might hit with Microsoft products when you're using them or developing them. And again, you can save yourself time, save hours of Googling and reading blog posts by just getting on there, get a freelancer, get a match to the freelancer that's got the right skills that you're asking the question in, and get your problem solved, get your issue solved, and get past it quickly rather than spending hours and hours. And obviously it helps you learn for the future as well. So let's get in there. Brilliant. So I've described there some basic examples of how you might use MicroJobs to get to your goal, to solve your problems. What I haven't decided is how you do that in MicroJobs. So there are 3 ways that you can get a freelancer working with you. Number 1 is a project request. Okay, now a project request is you going on the site, describing what you need, and there'll be links in the post that you can go and do this. Describe what you need, describe as much as you can in as much detail so that you get the best offers from the freelancers and the most understanding. Describe your budget and describe your deadline stroke timelines expected for the work. What that'll do is it'll send out a message to all the freelancers, and they'll be able to see these requests on the site, and they can then come back to you with quotes. What that means is you'll end up with quite a few freelancers contacting you because they'll want to clarify the details, and then hopefully you'll end up with quite a few quotes, or at least usually more than one quote, giving you a choice of who to go with and how to solve your problem. And all you simply do is click buy, pay by credit card, and the work starts. And I'll go a little bit more into the payment process in a minute. So that's the first one. The second one is contacting a freelancer that you've seen on the site directly because you've seen their skills or seen their microjobs. So you can do that going on the site, search through the microjobs that are in there, search through the freelancer profiles that are in there based on the skills, looking for the skills in the area that you've got a problem with. So you might be looking for a Power Automate person because you need help with your flow with your Power Automate. You can go and see all of them, and you might contact more than one. Click contact, you can send them a message within MicroJobs. You can have a conversation about what it is you need, clarify it a little bit. On a one-to-one basis, that freelancer can then come back to you with a custom offer, a price and a delivery timescales for what they can deliver for you, which you can choose to accept or not accept. You accept it again by clicking the buy button. Okay, so then the third and final way is I've mentioned them already, the microjobs. So the site is full of hundreds of, we call them pre-baked microjobs. So these are well-defined chunks of work that you might be interested in all the different categories. So it's anything from, some of it's 2 hours of training. We have mentioned the 30-minute expert calls. It might be, I'll build you 2 days, I'll build you a flow or a power app, things like that. Have a look. They're ranging from 1 day's effort to 30 days effort, and they're all through the site. You might go in there and find the perfect microjob for you with a freelancer that you're happy to work with because you can see they've got the right skills for you. And you can simply click buy now and you'll be buying what's in that microjob to be delivered to you. Okay, so there's the 3 ways in which you can get a freelancer to help you to get over your hurdles. And finally, I mentioned that I would explain the payments process in a little bit more detail. So buyers pay using credit cards on MicroJobs. And you pay up front. That payment process is managed by our payment partner Stripe, and you're paying directly to a freelancer's Stripe Connect account. Now, don't worry, the freelancer can't get hold of the money until the work is delivered. So the buyer pays, the freelancer is notified to start work on the order. Once the freelancer and the buyer are happy that the work has been delivered, the money is then released to the freelancer. So this payment approach gives the buyer confidence that they can pay and know they're going to get the work delivered or their money back, and the freelancer confidence that they can deliver knowing that they're going to get paid. This makes everyone happy and is a great payment process. Hope that was useful. I'm going to try and do more videos around how MicroJobs works, so watch out for those. Look forward to speaking to you in the future. Cheers.